Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Northern Ontario, Canada. Today is Saturday, June the 18th, 2022. I want to start off by welcoming any new viewers who may be tuning in for the very first time. Welcome. And to all my returning viewers, welcome back. This is a podcast about my knitting adventures and sometimes spinning and all the fiber arts. So if that's your thing, then maybe this is the podcast for you. So yeah, I hope everybody's been having a great couple weeks. It's been up and down for the weather here. We've had some really hot days and then we've had some cool rainy days, so it's not too bad. I can't complain. Pretty quiet. I have been just knitting a lot of socks. It is summer sock camp time, so if you're not familiar, Kay, the crazy sock lady, she always does a summer sock camp and it is free to join. You can enter into the different houses, so if you knit on Magic Loop or DPN's 9-inch circs, you can just enter your socks in and be eligible to win some pretty awesome prizes. So if you don't follow Kay's podcast, she's the crazy sock lady, so do go check her out. I love her. I've been watching her for years now and she's just awesome. I love her. And I always get inspired in the summer, one, because it's kind of hot and socks are kind of the only thing I want to work on in the summer, but because of summer sock camp, it does inspire you to want to knit some more socks. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So I have several finished objects to share with you today. It's going to be a lot of socks. I have some works in progress and I don't have spinning this week, but I do have a spinning acquisition. So yeah. There's nothing really administrative that I need to get out there. I have had a couple people contact me about my project bags, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. I currently have my Etsy store closed for the moment. I had gotten sick, so I wasn't able to do any sewing, but I am currently working on some bags to hopefully open my shop up pretty soon. So if you want a bag, you can actually just message me over on Instagram. I'm the Inspired Knitting Podcast, or Inspired Knitting Podcast. That you can find that in the show notes, linked below in the description box. But you can just message me on Instagram and I can show you some of the fabrics that I have going on right now, and we can work something out. But if you'd rather wait, I'm hoping to have some stuff up in my Etsy shop soon. So when I do, I will for sure post on my Instagram, or I will do a little shop update here. So for those of you that are supporting me, thank you. I very much appreciate it. So yeah, okay. I don't have coffee today. It's kind of a warm day, so I just got some water with me. But yeah, grab your beverage of choice, grab your knitting, and let's get on with it. So the first thing that I have to share with you was influenced and inspired by my lovely friend Angèle. Hi Angèle. She loves gnomes and she started my addiction with them. As you can see, I have my little shelf. A lot of them are kind of hid right now behind my sign there, but I have a slight addiction to gnomes now. So Sarah Shira of Imagine Landscapes, she has a lot of beautiful knitted gnome patterns, and that's pretty much all of them up there. There's several of them I haven't done yet, only because some are color work. There's a cable one that I really want to do, and I'm just slightly intimidated by it. It's a lot of cables, but regardless, I love all of her patterns. And she also does mystery gnome-alongs, and she came out with one recently, and it was Make Gnome Mistake. and I didn't jump on it right away because she did say that it was color work, and I can do color work, I just don't really like it. So I kind of waited, but as soon as I saw Angel's gnome, I had to cast it on and do it too. So here is my, I think she's called Nomchi. She is so stinking cute. This was the color work, obviously, in her hat, and it's just perfect. It's a little mushroom. It's adorable, and it is on the other side as well. How cute is that? I love it. So she does have color work on her body as well. Very simple. The chart, something that I really loved what Sarah did in the pattern was she put dark on light and light on dark for the chart pattern. So what I mean by that is the body of my hat is dark and my color work is light. So she actually had a color work chart that had the dark to light, and then if you wanted to do your light for your main hat color and dark for your color work, she had the reverse chart for that as well. That is amazing for me because I have worked with color work charts before where I have done the opposite, and then I accidentally knit the wrong color because, you know, I wasn't paying attention. So I really love that that was included in her pattern. But it's a very simple color work, stranded color work hat. And this obviously was super simple. The body construction was also different from her other gnomes. It's got more of a squared body, which I really like that. I didn't put weighted stuffing in him. I was watching TV and I was being lazy. I'm just going to admit it. So I didn't want to move to get my weighted stuffing, but he does sit rather well for having that squared bottom. So I really love that design feature. So modifications, I did do a couple. One, this is not the beard. The beard has like the loop style beard, and it's really cool because the back strands of the loop, you actually put beads on them, I believe, or knot them, I can't remember, but it is very cool. It's very similar to her adventure gnome that she did. I think it wasn't last Christmas, it would have been the Christmas before. She has an adventure gnome, and he's got that, he looks like a little elf, but he's got that little loopy beard. I chose not to do that one, so I just took a beard off of one of her other gnome patterns, and I did his nose in the same color I did here. So I just did it for that little bobble stitch there, and then I did his beard in gray. But I did modify for that. I also put arms on him. She doesn't include arms in her pattern, but she does say that you can. And she gives you an instruction on if you want to do them, how you can do them. So I decided to put little arms on him. And the other modification is I put a little pom-pom, just because I love pom-poms. So those are the only modifications that I did. Everything else was to pattern. It is fingering weight yarn. I believe it is 4 skeins, 4 20-gram minis that you would use. I have no idea any of these yarns except for this one here. This one is a hand dyed by Angel. She actually hand dyed it with tobacco, and I think that is so interesting. It is so gorgeous, so beautiful. The gray, I believe it might be Timber Yarns, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not even going to try to guess what the brown and the light color is because I really don't know. But he is adorable, or she is adorable. I love him. I'm saying, I guess I'm calling it a he because the little beard, it reminds me of a goatee. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, I love it so much. So that's No Chi, or the pattern is called Make No Mistake by Sarah Shira. And it's totally worth it because it's stinking cute. I love it. So let's see if he'll stand up over here for us. There. So that was my first finished object. Now we are going to move on to the sock train. I have been knitting socks. That's pretty much all I've been knitting. I did the gnome, and then it's just been socks. I'm obsessed at the moment. So the last time I podcasted, I believe I showed one of these as a hoe. So this was my cozy knitter. I lost the tag, so I can't tell you what the colorway was, unfortunately, but it's just these beautiful springy type colors. So it comes with a 20-gram mini in this beautiful minty green color. So I think I spoke about this on the last episode. I had obviously caked the mini up and cast it on with it, but I misplaced it. So I ended up taking a 20-gram mini of Angel's, the Northern Purl, in this beautiful gold color, and I put that in for the heel. So I did find the green mini skein again, but I made the second sock to match. So there's the second one. So I did the same thing. I cast it on with the mint green and then did the gold for the toe. So there they are. So I didn't follow a pattern for these. I just cast it on 64 stitches for the cuff. I did about 8 rows of 1x1 ribbing. I knit on a 2mm because my gauge has become stupidly loose. But I cast on 64, I do my cuff, and then I decrease down to 60 stitches for the rest of the sock because I find that just fits my my foot the best. I did a afterthought heel. So how I do my afterthought is I get to the point where I want my heel to go in. I knit the heel stitches across on waste yarn, knit the rest of the sock, and then I come back to it and then I pick up my stitches. So it's not the afterthought where you're cutting into it. I only did that once last summer and I didn't really enjoy it. I was too stressed out because you can understand cutting into your yarn. It wasn't as bad as I anticipated it to be, but I prefer to do the waste yarn, so that's what I do. So they're just plain vanilla socks. I love them. They're so pretty, and I still have lots left over, so I think I'm going to be making a pair of journey socks. So that'll be nice. So there's the first pair. Okay, just throw those over there. The next pair that I have to share with you, I don't know if I shared these at all, but I casted on a pair of Selena socks by Nicole Inzinger, who is Professor Purl. She does have a podcast I have yet to watch. I have added her to my watch list, but I haven't been actually watching a lot of podcasts lately, so I really want to watch her. I found out about her through the We Share Needles podcast, Maddie and Kristen. And Maddie and Kristen both knit up these socks. They're the Selena socks by Professor Purl, and they are a DK weight sock. So the pattern is written up to hold a strand of fingering with mohair. I just did DK because fingering mohair equals to a DK, so I just did DK. And it's this beautiful rib style pattern. It's so beautiful. It's got slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. It's got a little bit of a detail up at the top. I did follow exactly 2 patterns, so I followed the amount of stitches she recommended for the cuff, the little detail. The leg, I think she says how many rows to do. I probably didn't follow that because I don't like my socks super long. Although these are not for me, these are actually a gift, but I don't think I followed their proper amount of stitches or rows for the leg. But yeah, everything was to pattern. Absolutely beautiful pattern, and yes, there is 2 of them. I love them. They turned out so great. They are a little bit damp, but yeah, they're awesome. So these are a gift for my neighbor. So I need to get the stuff to put on the bottom. This is her first pair of hand knits or wool socks, hand knit socks. So I'm going to put that stuff on the bottom because she does have some balance issues and I wouldn't want her to fall or anything. So I'm gonna get that to put on the bottom. This colorway, I thought I brought the tag over. It is actually Angel's yarn. It's the Northern Purl in a DK base. She does not carry it anymore, but it's just this beautiful, gorgeous hot pink. I mean, it's just so pretty. It's blowing out a little bit on the screen there, but it's that hot pink that has the blue undertone. It's just so striking. I love it. Almost kept them for myself, but I won't. But they're just so pretty. So I will be knitting another pair of these again. It was a very fun pattern. And I think I'm gonna do a pair with fingering and mohair for myself because I love my mohair and I think those socks would be so comfortable, especially in the wintertime. So Selena socks, Professor Purl, do go check it out. They are amazing. I love them. And I did not use the whole skein of DK. I wish I could find the tag. I thought I brought it, but I did not use the whole skein. There's not that much left, but that's pretty decent. So I have another pair of socks here. Just bear with me. I gotta put them on blockers. So I decided last week that I was going to knit up a pair of socks for my partner in crime. As I've said, he's gotten 2 pairs of Journey socks and he's really been loving them. He won't wear store-bought socks now. All he's been wearing is my hand knit socks, which is freaking amazing. I finally got them away from him yesterday so I could wash both pairs. So he's all happy now. But he did ask me if I could knit him a pair of socks that were longer in the leg. So I'm more than happy to oblige. So I went to Angel's and I picked up a skein. And I am going to be a good podcaster and get the tag. I picked out a skein of Pro Lana. It's golden socks and it says fruit. I'll just show the tag. It is 75% wool and 25% polyamide, 100 grams, 420 meters. And I don't know which one's the colorway number, so I'll just hold this up and maybe you can figure it out because I'm not sure which. I did put it on my Ravelry, but yeah, I don't know what the colorway number is, so there you go. But they are very pretty. It kind of does this stripe effect. I freaking love them. At first, I wasn't sure. If you feel the ball, it's like a Regia almost. It almost has that feel to it. So it's a workhorse type sock yarn. But as I was knitting with it, I fell in love with it. Like the feel of it is just so nice. And I am definitely going to try out more because I like it. So there's 2 of them. For these ones, again, I didn't follow no pattern. All I did was cast on 64 stitches. I stayed at 64 stitches, 2mm, and I just did a 2x2 rib. I did a longer leg, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, and a rounded toe like usual. And yeah, I tried my best because I'm OCD about it, and I think I did a pretty decent job in lining up my colors. I was slightly off, as you can tell. I was slightly off, but that's okay. And you can tell in the toe because the end of the toe has more green on this one. He's not gonna care, believe me. So he's seen me knitting these a little bit. I've been trying to knit these with Angel at the shop, so I haven't really been bringing them out much here. They are a surprise for tomorrow, which is Father's Day. So to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. But yeah, so hopefully he is not a person that you can surprise. And I'm talking low because he is outside. He might hear me, but he is not a person that you can surprise. He can surprise you. He can hide things in sight from me, and he can surprise me because I'm not the most observant person. So I'm gonna try my best to give him his socks, and he loves peanuts, so I'm gonna give him some peanuts. So I gotta figure out how I'm sneaking those in the house today, but yeah, just a little surprise for him for tomorrow morning. But they're all done and I love them. I wasn't sure about doing full-on rib socks because it's a lot of ribbing, but they fit really, really well and they look so pretty. So it was well worth it, and I know he'll love them. So yeah, there's that. And do check out the Prolina yarn if you can. I really do like it, and the stripes are pretty decent on them. So yeah, there's those. So I have one more finished object, but it's not knitting related, but I want to show it because I'm so proud of it. So I pulled out my sewing machine, like I said, to make some bags, and I was finishing up for the day, and I have these, oh, I can't remember what they're called. They're 5x5 pre-cut squares, charm squares. So I had gotten a pack of them, and I'll show it. They're kind of in these marble effect style. So I love charm packs because, for one, they are already pre-cut and they make patchwork very easy, and you get all these different patterns in the charm pack. So I have always wanted to make that's sassy. I've always wanted to make coasters or pot holders, but I am terrible with bias binding. I have tried bias binding many times, and I have a very hard time with it. So I discovered from somebody that is local, she sews. She told me a neat way to do it without the bias binding. So pretty much you just make your front and you make your back, and then you just put right sides facing, sew it, and then you just leave like an opening to flip, and then you just sew up the portion that was left open. So mine was at the bottom here. So that way you don't have to deal with bias binding. Genius. I mean, yeah, so that's what I did, and I'm just so proud of it. I made a little pot holder. I did put the batting inside of it, and I love it. It is adorable. So this one is for us, but I love it. I'm just so proud. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. Not knitting related, but yeah. So there's that. So that's all I got for finished objects. Now we're going to move on into works in progress. So since we're talking about socks, I will show you my newest pair of socks. I was watching the Cozy Up Knits podcast, and one of my favorite enablers, Jamie, casted on a pair of socks, and she's holding, it's a self-striping yarn, and she's holding it the opposite way. So I believe it comes in 250 gram skeins. And if you were to pull from the middle, you get the same stripe sequence. Well, she's pulling one from the middle and one from the outside and holding them double. So that roughly gives you a DK to maybe a light worsted sock, which I thought was so cool and beautiful. So I said to myself, if I finish my Selena socks, then I can cast on a pair of socks like that. So I had picked up these skeins from Angel last summer. It's an Estelle yarn, and they're called sock twins. So you get two 50 gram skeins, and as you can see, you can knit them up the same. So I was going to do like Jamie did. I was going to pull one from the middle and one from the outside to marl them. But when I went to cast on, I wanted to get the same sequence for both socks, but I'm holding it double because I wanted DK. Well, I wasn't really thinking that through, because holding it double means that by the time I get the first sock done, all the middle colors are going to be gone and I'll just have the outside colors. It's okay. I don't care. They're socks, so it's fine. Another thought process I had is, if Angel still has this colorway, I can just buy another set, knit up another pair of socks the same way, and there'll be one sock that is the dark and one is the light, and I can just match them up and have two pairs of socks. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm just having fun knitting them up. So I will quickly talk about the yarn. I've never knit with it before, but I thought it was pretty cool. As I said, it's Estelle Sock Twins, and it is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 50 gram balls. So they do come as a set, so it would be 100 grams in total. And the colorway number is number 7. There you go. And there's some pretty bright colors, but I was actually surprised at how they're knitting up. Like, it's so pretty. So there's my first one. One second. Here's my first one. I mean, how pretty is that? I love all the different colors. It's so pretty. I absolutely am enjoying this. So I just casted this on late afternoon yesterday, and I was watching TV last night, and I got through my gusset decreases, so now I just have to knit the foot and the toe, and I have the first sock done. So it's knitting up super quick. As I said, it's a DK because I'm holding 2 strands of fingering double. I am following the numbers off of Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady's DK sock pattern. I believe it's called the DK Vanilla Sock by Kay Litton on Ravelry. I will, of course, link below. It's just a basic DK recipe for vanilla socks. So I think I did like 14 rows of a 2x2 rib, and I'm obviously doing a short sock. I'm trying this out because before I would only do maybe 4 rows of plain knitting before I started my heel, but it's not staying on my foot. It wants to keep sliding off. So I made a slightly longer cuff this time. Same slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, which is in Kay's pattern. And yeah, it's awesome. Do check it out. I can't remember if it's a free pattern or a paid for pattern. I can't quite remember, but it's definitely worth it. It's wonderful. I'm doing the second size in the pattern. And as I said, I'm just loving how this yarn is working up. It started off with more of the grays, and now it's moving down into that tealy dark green. I love it. And like I said, it's going to be interesting because my second sock, I'm guessing, will be more this lime green and then the white. So it'll be quite interesting. So that's why I said maybe I will, if Angel still has this colorway, maybe I'll just buy another set and then knit them up the exact same way and then have 2 socks that are dark and then 2 socks that are bright. I don't know yet. We will see, but I'm just enjoying DK socks right now. 1, because they knit up like super fast, but 2, I just really, really like them. I don't wear my socks in shoes. I don't like that. So I wear my socks more like house socks. So why not have nice thick ones? Especially if I'm wearing socks, it's because it's the fall or the winter, and that sometimes is sketchy at best. I just don't like socks on my feet. I like being barefoot. It's just who I am. But when I do wear socks, I have been enjoying my DK weight ones a little bit more. So yeah. So do check it out. DK, I think it's called DK Vanilla Socks by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. Crazy Sock Lady. I cannot talk today. It's an amazing pattern. All of her patterns are amazing. She has several sock patterns. You do not have to knit her sock patterns either to be part of summer sock camp. I want to say that you could possibly get an additional entry if you do, but don't quote me on that. If you go over to her channel, she has a whole video on all the things. So go check her out because it's awesome. Okay, so that's all I got for socks. The next thing I'm going to share with you guys is, I think I'll share this. I haven't shared this in a long time. My Musselburgh hat. Do you remember that? It's been going on the go since December. So what I've been doing is Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. This is fangirl for Crazy Sock Lady today, apparently. She coined the 30 minutes of knitting. So it's a hashtag on Instagram, and so for 30 minutes every day you pick a project and you just knit for 30 minutes on it. So for me, when I have my coffee in the morning, I've been picking up my Musselburgh because it's one of those things that it's just been lingering, obviously, for months. So I just wanted to work on it. I don't gravitate towards it enough, so I thought it would be perfect for that. Some mornings I have faltered. I've been knitting on my socks or other things, but I have been putting a lot of love on this. So I want to first show the bag because it's stinking cute. This is my Chic bag by J. Hendry Designs. She is a handmaker here in Barrie, Ontario. Love her. Her sister dyes Full Moon Fibers. Also love her hand-dyed yarn. Just so beautiful. They are so well made, and I'd love to get more. They are awesome. So, since I haven't showed it for a hot minute, I got this beautiful skein of yarn from the Northern Purl for Christmas. It's Angel's yarn, and it's fingering weight in the Illusion colorway. I just love that. Those are so my colors. So when I got it, I got one skein, so I thought it'd make a beautiful Musselburgh. So I think that's the reason it's been taking a little bit longer, because it's a fingering weight hat. That's no excuse, but I'm using it as an excuse. So the Musselburgh is a pattern by Isolde Teague. It's a pretty amazing hat. You start at one end and you increase out, and then you just knit this big long tube, and then you close in the other end like this. So when you're all completed, you just fold the hat inside of itself, so it is like double layered. It's genius. So a lot of people have knit these. I'm probably not, I know I'm not pronouncing it right. It's not the Musselburgh, but it's been around, so you guys know what I'm talking about. That's how I'm saying it. It is an amazing pattern. And it's not just for fingering either. So how the Musselburgh is done is if you want to use fingering, decay, worsted, bulky, I believe, all you do is start a gauge swatch with your preferred yarn and needles, and you take your gauge swatch and match it to her charts in the pattern, and it will tell you how many stitches that you need to increase to. So it's genius. I love it. So this is what I've got so far. I think when I last shared it with you guys, I might have been around here somewhere. So I have put a generous amount of work on this. So that's where I was last time. I'm usually getting about 7 rows for 30 minutes, which if I measure it out to my gauge, it's roughly an inch of knitting. So I think 2 more sittings with this and I will have my length done and I can start doing the decreases. So that's pretty exciting. I just love it. It's such a beautiful colorway and it's gonna be a very beautiful hat. I love it. So that's my Musselburgh Usolatigue. Maybe next time it will be a finished object. We will see. I don't know. But I'm just happy that it's been getting a little bit of love. So there's that. All right. Moving along on to the next one. I am working on another blanket square. I haven't done one of these in a little bit. This is for my Stitch in Time blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So, just gonna pull out my needles here so I don't lose them. So how I've been, they're mitered squares that you're knitting. So I was using a, just like a circular needle. That's how I love to knit my stuff. But I had picked up these stoppers from Agel's store, these pretty cheap. I got another set of 2, but I wanted to knit my squares on straights and I don't have straight needles. So I did have this set of Chagu DPNs that were just sitting there. They are 2mm, and I do not knit my socks, as you can tell, on DPNs anymore. So I sacrificed these needles and I super glued the little sheep to them. So these stoppers are like a rubber almost, and they just slide on the tips of your needles to stop your projects from falling off. Well, because this is a 2mm, the holes for these stoppers are a little too big, so they want to fall right back off. So I just, like I said, I sacrificed the needles and the stoppers for this purpose, and I made some straight needles with them. So now I have some cute little needles to make my blanket squares with. So I actually pulled out the stitches. That was fun. I didn't realize I was still working on that one, but we'll just be careful here. This is my next blanket square that I am working on. If you're not familiar with the Stitch in Time blanket, it's you do a mitered square and then you're picking up stitches to do the next one and the next one. So you're not knitting these individually and then sewing them together. You're just finishing one and then picking up for your next. So one square is a 9 patch. So you're doing this row first, and then you're working the next row and then your next row, and then you put your border on. So I'm sure you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you've seen my other squares. I don't know how many this is now. This might be square number 7, and I need think I need 12 squares if I want to do 2 pattern, which I probably will. It's just going to be a blanket, like a throw for my couch. But I've just been having a lot of fun with them. I love my mini skeins, and these mini skeins are perfect. So the pattern says you roughly use 4 grams per square. So it's a great stash buster. I love it. A lot of these yarns that I'm using in here, except for this one, I'm pretty sure they're all Polka Dot Creek. This would be Angel's yarn here, I believe. But I'm pretty sure these 3 here were part of Polka Dot Creek's colored egg set at Easter, if I'm not mistaken. I know these 2 definitely were. But yeah, I just grab a random 9 random minis from my my stash that I think are gonna look nice together, and I just go with it. So this is the one I'm currently working with now. Like I said, I believe this is the Northern Purl. Can't quite remember, but so I'm still figuring this square out as I go. But I have some random ones here. So I have a pink, might be Northern Purl. I think this is Polka Dot Creek, so lavender. This is Polka Dot Creek. I think that one I already knit in there, but this was part of Polka Dot Creek's colored egg set, so I want to put that one in there as well. And this is another one, Polka Dot Creek. Her colored egg set for Easter was just phenomenal. It was so cute. So yeah, it's just going to be a fun, bright square, and I love it. I always have my beautiful Progress Keeper from Megan Nodecker, the Pip and Pin Collective. She does Progress Keepers. I love it. She also does, she curates mini skein sets from Canadian Dyers, and I've gotten a couple of them and they are amazing, so do check it out. And if you're not familiar, Megan is also a designer, Pip and Pin, so do check her out. She's got many amazing, beautiful patterns, so I highly recommend her. All right, so that was my Stitch in Time blanket. Kay Jones of the Bakery Bear. Go over and check it out. It's a beautiful blanket. I didn't say it, but it's fingering weight yarn. You can obviously hold it double. You just have to adjust your needles, and obviously your squares would turn out a little bit bigger. But yeah, don't limit yourself to fingering weight. You can do any weight of yarn. It's just that it's going to be a little bit bigger, which it's a blanket, so I guess that's a good thing, right? So anyways, I have one more work in progress with you. So I recently did 2 different shawls from Helena of Chic and Regal Designs. Hi. So she put out a test call on her Instagram. She is a beautiful shawl designer, and I did her Hit the Brick shawl, and I did her Bright Eyed Becky. I showed it on the last podcast. Beautiful shawl patterns. I absolutely love them. Helena is a beautiful designer. Her patterns are well written. They're easy to follow. And if you're like me, I am very squirrely, so I don't like repetitiveness. I like it being changed up. So her patterns are amazing. She's got them broken down into sections. They're just full of texture, and I love it. I just love them. So she did a test call on her Instagram I guess it would be last week, for a new shawl that she's going to be coming out with. And as soon as I saw it, I automatically had to put my name in for it. So it doesn't have a name yet, but if you go over to her Instagram, she's got a picture of it in blue. It's like a navy blue. It's a crescent style shawl, I think. And it's got this, it's garter on the top, but it's got this beautiful section of lace at the bottom. it's fingering weight yarn, so you only need one skein, and it's knit on bigger needles, so it's got that gauzy, drapey effect to it. And with that lace, it's just so elegant and stunning. So automatically I was like, oh, I love it. So I got accepted for the test knit, and I was going through my yarn, and I have the skein of Leo and Roxy Basics. So it is Basics 75-25 socks, so it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100% good vibes, 100 grams, which is 465 yards. So it is in the Queen's Navy colorway. And like I said, her sample was knit up in navy, so I wanted to do the same. So here's what I have so far. I just had casted it on, so I'm working through the garter section now. And you can see the gauziness of it. It is going to be stunning. I am so gonna love this one. So yeah, I just thought I would share that with you guys. I have a pretty progress keeper here from Ocean Loop Studio. I've always wanted one of these stitch markers. It's got the glittery stars inside. I may have ordered another one in pink. I really love Ocean Loop Studio. She has beautiful progress keepers, stitch marker sets. I believe she also does bracelets, maybe earrings. She's a beautiful maker, so go over and check her out. I will link her below if I remember, but yeah. So this is what I've got so far. Hopefully I'll have, this did not take long at all to knit up, so I'm guessing that the shawl will go by fairly quick. We have till July 15th for our test knit, so I'm guessing it will come out mid to late July. I'm not sure, but just keep a watch over on Chic and Regal. I think she just goes under Chic and Regal Designs on Instagram. I will link below, and keep a watch. But she's got several different patterns that are already released, and I love them all. They're just beautiful. So that's what I've been working on. So this is obviously becoming a priority. My socks are a priority. I want my Oxbow cardigan to be a priority because I really want to wear it. We've had several days where, you know, the cool ones where I would have loved to wear it, but oh well, I just want to knit socks right now, so that's okay. I actually didn't mention what I was wearing. I am wearing my Simple Hug by Cozy Up Knits. I just used a variety of different yarns in it. Digilpin, DK. So it is a DK cardigan. I believe the pattern is written to be DK with a strand of mohair. So I did hold a black mohair in there as well. I think this is Cascade 220, I think. But I held black mohair with this. This is fingering weight held double with a lighter mohair. So yeah, this is Lilac Bush by Polka Dot Creek. And then, where is it? I've showed this multiple times, but it's just so pretty. This is, I don't even remember now, but it is again fingering weight held double with mohair. So yeah, it's just got this pretty striping sequence. It starts from the bottom up. It's knit on like a 6mm needle. So when you are done and you seam your sleeves together, all you got to do is a couple inches of ribbing, or you can do a longer sleeve and you got a beautiful cardigan. So, oh, and you do your band, of course. It's a beautiful cardigan, and it's so cozy with the mohair. I love it. And they also now have the brioche hug, which I have one of those as well. And it's just the same. It's a DK weight. No mohair this time, but you can do the striping sequence with the brioche as well. I really love that one as well. I think I'm more suited to the simple hug though, because with the brioche hug is knitted on big needles as well. But I think I'm better suited for this type. So you could wear it either with the knit side or the purl side. It's up to you. The brioche one I've worn it maybe a dozen times now. I wear it a lot, but every time I wear it, I'm pulling stitches out because brioche can be a little bit open, right? With your, like the purl side, I would call it, like the purl stitches. So yeah, every time I wear it, I'm like pulling stitches out, and oh my gosh, it's terrible. But I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful squishy cardigan. It's just I'm bad. I catch myself on everything. So I think I'm better suited for something that's not going to catch, even though this probably has pulled stitches too. Oh well. I love my knit cardigans. So yeah. Cozy Up Knits. Go check them out. I love them. Beautiful ladies from Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. Absolutely love them. So yeah, that's my simple hug. Alrighty, I'm just going to take a quick pause and I will be right back with a quick stash enhancement. Alright, so I have one thing to show for stash. I have been very, very good. I have gone to the yarn store. I think I go at least a couple times a week just to visit with Angel. We just sit and chat, knit. It's awesome. And I've been walking or rolling out of the store with absolutely no yarn. And it's been hard, believe me, but I've been doing it. But on Thursday, we had our knit social. So every Thursday, Angel has a knit group. So we have a beautiful group of ladies and we just sit, enjoy our knitting and coffee, whatever. So I went this Thursday and I couldn't help it. I had to come home with some fiber. So as I said, I'm not the most observant person in the world, but Angela apparently had this dyed up for a while. I just never saw it. But when I laid eyes on it, I was like, oh, what is that? So it had to come home with me. So this is, let me see here. It is fine merino roving, 19.5 micron, approximately 4 ounces or 115 grams. And it doesn't have the colorway name on it, but I think she said it's her apple colorway. Absolutely stunning. Greens and yellows and those bright pops of pink. This is what I love. So if you watched my last podcast, I am spinning up the bats from Brittany A Crux Fiber, and it's a very beautiful peachy color, but it does have pink in there. So I spun up the first bat and I have it plied, and I still have to do the other bat of it. I'm spinning that up to do the Allure shawl that Andrea Mowry came out with not that long ago, but she used a hand spun for the main, like the contrast colors. So I really would love to have a shawl with my hand spun yarn. So I've kind of been spinning for that shawl. I know I will not have enough yarn of the peach to do the whole shawl in. So when I saw this, I don't know if it's going to match yet. I'll have to wait until I spin it up and get it plied, but it just might work. I don't know. So we will see. But I am just super excited. If it doesn't match, it's fine. It can be for something else. But it's just so pretty. I love Angela's work. It is amazing. So I would like to do the other bat of peach from Crux Fiber. As I said, my wheel has not gotten any love in the past 2 weeks, but I would like to do that one, and then I think this one might be next to go. We'll see. I love it. So I have been very good that way. Yeah. All right, so I think that is all I have to share with you guys for this week. I always put detailed show notes in the description box below, so I always link directly to all the designers that I talk about. I never link directly to my Ravelry pages because they're either non-existent or they're not really full of details. I'm just gonna say it, my Ravelry is pretty much just a library that I can look back on for myself to see what I have done. I'm not really one to be good about putting, I try my best to put the yarn and colorway and needle sizes and all that in there, but I'm just not very good at keeping it detailed. So pretty much it's just a notebook that I can look back on and say, oh, this is what I've done. It's really cool. So yeah, so I don't bother linking to my Ravelry, but I will always link to the designers that I talk about. So you can find that there, and you can also find links to where you can find me on the internet and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It is a beautiful day. I'm going to go sew up some bags, and then I'm going to go outside with either my knitting or maybe my spinning and just enjoy the day. It's beautiful and sunny here, so got to enjoy it while it's here. So until next time, guys, have a great weekend, and I will hopefully see you again in a couple weeks. Bye.